overpowering creatures, technological elements, trashed surroundings, and absurd features. This is a world not seen before. A world only existing in books and tales. A world where the insane have the truth. A place of freaks and a kingdom of maniacs. This is the world we know best. The world of madness. Hard with style. Close your eyes and open your mind.
Okay, this experience happened in 2010. And at the time, I didn't know that I had been a lifelong abductee. Well, I think the whole world are abductees and contactees and experiencers. I mean, it's just obvious. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. So, I don't think I'm special because I'm a contactee, an abductee, an experiencer, because that's freaking bullshit. Total bullshit. And propaganda. Okay, so anyway, I remember my experiences since the age of 6 or 7. And, I don't remember much from after that till age 21, and then I remember all sorts of shit from 21 till now. So 20 something years later, I remember all sorts of shit. But anyway, this experience was a possession by a reptilian male demon. Non-physical entity lurking around outside of visible light. When, these demonic entities, well, a lot of entities and energies or whatever, I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, they're here now. They're by me now. There's probably 1,000 of them or more here right by me now. But, they have no power until I give them power. So anyway, this is a story, well, not a story, but my true experience in 2010, where I became pretty much 100% possessed by this demon-reptilian energy or entity. Well, of course, in their own dimension, they can, take on a physical appearance and everything. And they're kind of, physical in their own dimension, but as far as when they come over to this dimension, they're more energetic, ethereal, or whatever. And some of them, like, I don't know if all of them, if all these entities can manifest as physical. I mean, I believe some of them probably can't manifest as physical, even if they try. Even some of the invisible grays that come to my room and do stuff, in the morning times or evening times when I lay down for bed, some of those non-physical entities, I'm not sure if some of them, I think some of them probably couldn't even manifest as physical if they tried in this dimension, but, a lot of them can. I don't think it's one way or the highway. But anyway, so this was an entity, a demon entity, a reptilian energy for sure, that possessed me in 2010. So what the deal was, I was dating this woman, and she was an alcoholic, a very severe alcoholic, but I was naive at first. She told me she was an alcoholic, but she she acted like she was an ex-alcoholic. Well, I was kind of stupid. I didn't realize that. Especially when you're hardcore like that, you can't ever quit. And she's really hardcore, like late-stage alcoholic. but I didn't realize all of that at the time. I didn't know there were different stages. So anyway, she also was a reptilian hybrid, but she didn't know it, and I didn't know it at the time, but I know it now that she was. And of course I was too, I am too, but I didn't know it at the time, and I didn't know that the aliens had been in my life all my life. I knew nothing about aliens at that time. I just knew heaven realm and spirits and ghosts and astral travel and this dimension. I didn't realize all these entities that are in between, like the Greys and the Reptilians that reside close to this dimension, and they don't really live in the heaven realms, whatever the heaven realms is. I have experience with that, and I know I bypass all of the 12 dimensions. I go high, past all of those dimensions, past all of the lower dimensions. So there's no negative entities where I would, where I used to travel to at all. No negative entities whatsoever. And you can also, which I did, I created my own dimensions, and I was walking around by myself 99% of the time, and it was pure bliss. So anyway, in 2010, me and my girlfriend, we did some, and like I say, I wasn't fully awakened then and fully enlightened, so I didn't see how dark she was. I didn't really see how evil she was, but she really was evil. But she wasn't inherently evil. I think she was only evil because of her alcoholism, but she also was a drug abuser, but I didn't realize it at the time. She popped pills and did other drugs too, I believe, like maybe some hardcore ones. She wasn't just a pill popper, but I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know she was also a drug addict, but I knew she was an ex-alcoholic. And I never even heard of synthetic marijuana or synthetic legal drugs. I've never even heard of them until I met her in 2010. And of course we didn't, date very long, only about 9 months. And she did actually get abusive right at about that point. Like physically abusive or whatever. I just think back at all these people I've encountered, and Angie, I don't have any hate towards Angie at all. But all these other bitches, man, oh man, somebody ever gets in my face again, they're going down. They're going way down. That's all I can say. But because I've been done wrong, all my life, and I think it's because of my past life, being a reptilian, being a mean little asshole reptilian. I believe that's why I'm being punished, and I had to come to this fucked up third dimension. Because I know I've never lived in this dimension before. I was even 1.5 years old and staring at the bushes at the projects where I lived by myself outside of the apartment I lived at. And I was looking at the sky, and it was sunny, and I remember this clearly. I was 1.5 years old. And I remember thinking, wow, this dimension is going to be hell. Because I knew I had never been physical before. Of course, I didn't realize I was actually a reptilian being. I didn't figure all that out till about 3 years ago. 3 or 3.5 years ago. So anyway, and I hate to hate that woman that I dated. I do kind of hate her, but I hate to really hate her. I mean, I really feel sorry for her. She would be my friend. Well, actually, I mean, she would do everything with me if I let her. She would be my friend. She would still have sex with me if I let her. But I have no desire to be her friend. Maybe if she was a loner, I would be, but she also has a very evil family, so I won't have anything to do with anybody I don't have anything to do with any human beings whatsoever, except my mom and my sister, and that is it. Okay, so anyway, in 2010, let's see here, for several times we did try some legal drugs. Like we tried Love Potion 69, we tried Super Kush, and yeah, I never got possessed on those drugs. And it just so happened that one evening at about 6 o'clock or 5:30, we did and I don't know how to smoke or inhale. I think it's disgusting. I don't even know how to inhale. I've never smoked. I've never smoked in my life. So we actually did this synthetic drug called jungle juice. It was like little herbs, which chemicals are sprayed on the herbs, and you roll it up in a little joint and you smoke it. But since I don't know how to smoke, what she did was she did a bunch of puffs off of it, and then she blew it in my mouth. It was called jungle juice, and it came in a little 3-inch by 3-inch package, and they're like freaking $20. I did have another package of some other crap that had like, LSD kind of insignia on it, and I just threw that thing in the trash after I knew that stuff was evil. I didn't know all that stuff was evil at the time. So anyway, she blew it in my mouth. She blew the jungle juice in my mouth. And of course that made me, be able to suck it down my throat, and it gave me a buzz. I remember what I remember is I kind of went out. I kind of went out of body, to tell you the truth. I closed my eyes, and I just immediately kind of floated. I kind of went to the other dimension, like the astral dimension, and I was just like, whoa, I was in the other dimension. It did kind of make me go out of body, and but see, she probably had a bunch of evil entities lurking around her because she was already kind of evil because of her alcoholism. And so that really could be why I got possessed. Not necessarily because I'm a hybrid, but because it happened to be a little bit of both because of her and me as well. Like if I would have done that drug by myself, which I never would have done, who knows, I probably wouldn't have gotten possessed. And basically I really didn't get possessed because of the drug. That drug was actually it was indirect. It indirectly caused my possession. Because after I kind of went off in the other dimension, and I felt like I was like, whoa, like floating, like I was floating in the astral realm. But I didn't see any entities at that time or anything. It was just pure black galaxy. So anyway, after I did that, I remember, let's see, I remember the futon bed. I think I pulled the futon bed out for a while, and we laid on it for quite a while, and then as far as I remember, but I kind of went into a catatonic state, and she even checked she was a nurse or whatever, but she checked my pulse, and it was kind of fast. And then at one point after that, I remember pulling the futon bed up, and then it was a couch again, and then she laid on the bottom, and I laid on top of her. But I still was in a catatonic state, and I laid there for quite a while. And I was just with my eyes closed, I was in a catatonic state. And for whatever reason, I don't know why I decided to just lean up off of her. Because I laid on her for quite a while, and she knew I was kind of tripping out. She had a lot of experience with drugs, and she loved these drug addict people. They totally love being evil. They love being demons. They love their drugs, and they love their alcohol. They're skanks. But anyway, so for whatever reason, I got up, I leaned up. At that point, I jerk. I mean, I just literally like jerk. And at that point, I literally felt like some meth head, semi-female, semi-wild animal. That's exactly what I felt like. I felt like part animal, part female. After I jerk. Because the entity had, at that time, the entity, the demonic reptilian entity, it possessed my body first. After I jerk. I mean, as I jerk on the couch. And then I just stayed there. I leaned up on the couch. I was just staying there after I jerked. And I was staring at the TV. And then a cloudy wave, I had my eyes open, and a cloudy wave just whoosh, came over me. Like I actually saw the cloudy wave just go from the top of my head, down to my feet. This cloudy wave, I got encased with this cloudy, like, after I jerked. Because like I say, the entity, you would think it maybe was the other way around, but it wasn't. He literally possessed my physical body first. And then he possessed my whole body and brain, my faculties and my, my body or whatever, by that cloudy wave. And then I had my eyes open the whole time, and this is totally in 3D. It's not in the dream state or astral state. This is totally 3D. Yeah, so, I know these beings are, basically non-physical, but, they do manipulate our physical reality in a lot of ways. And, possession is one of them, because once they possess a physical body, if they can totally 100% fully possess your brain and, and the body, that person can literally murder people. And that happens a lot, I have no doubt. But I was more powerful than this reptilian being. I was a lot more powerful. So basically, after the cloudy wave came over me, at that time I totally turned into this demonic reptilian being. I totally turned 100% male. Except there was just little, like 1% of me that knew I was still me. Only 1% knew that I was still me. But I literally became him almost 100%. I mean, I was him, except for that 1% that I knew I was still me. And I kept looking up at the clock, and I was just like praying, please let it go away, please let it go away. I was praying to God, like, please let it go away, please let it go away. And I still didn't understand everything at that time till, a few years later. So anyway, so anyway, this demon, oh my God, some of these reptilian demons, I mean, they want to murder like all humans. They totally hate humans. I mean, totally despise them. They hate them. I mean, he was just pure evil. I mean, you can tell he just wanted to murder, all humans. But anyway, I cocked my head to the left, and my cat was in my path. But, it's funny how my anger, I was so angry. Man, I was angry because I was this demon. And, but it's funny, when I stared at my cat, my anger bypassed her. But whenever my girlfriend said something, she would say something like, do you want me to call your sister? Because she was like all strung out, stomping around in the kitchen, and she knew I was tripping. And she's like, do you want me to call your sister? And I wouldn't say anything. The whole time I remained still. I would not say one word. But yeah, so anyway, she was like, you want me to call your sister? And the whole time I would just, anything she would say, it just made me so angry. I mean, I got so angry inside. She could have said I was beautiful, and I just got so angry. I mean, anything she said, I was so angry. But I knew, 1% of me knew I was still me. Okay, but after the cloudy wave came over me and I was totally possessed by this reptilian demonic being, what he did was, my eyes were still open. What he did was, he played a scene right in front of me. I mean, it was like right in front of me. Almost like in another dimension, showing, like a projection from another dimension. He showed me this like 40-year-old dark-headed, he seemed like a guy that was strung out on meth or something. He was stomping around in the living room, like going back and forth. And he had a knife in his hand. the impression was he had a knife in his hand, like as if he just murdered his family. Now, I don't actually remember seeing the knife in his hand, but the reptilians, they can kind of, relay certain thoughts in your brain or whatever. And so, yeah, after the cloudy wave came over me, and after he pretty much possessed me, almost 100%, this brown-headed man was just like all angry, stomping around the living room. And my eyes were totally open, and this happened right in front of me. But like in another dimension. He was stomping around the living room, like going back and forth, like as if he just murdered his family with a knife. Yeah, and so, and then, like I say, when my girlfriend kept saying stuff, I would just get like enraged and anger. But the only reason why she is alive, and I'm alive, is because the reptilian demon was not able to possess me 100%, but he was able to possess me 99.9%. So that's the only reason why she is alive and I'm alive. And I actually did almost think about checking myself into the hospital. I did think about that. But, the possession, it really didn't completely go away for at least, I want to say 3 hours, but it may have been a little earlier than that, maybe 2.5 hours. But it really disturbed me for a couple months after the incident. It disturbed me because I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand possessions. I didn't understand reptilians. I didn't understand demons. I didn't understand it. And that's what makes it scary when you don't understand something. I knew it was something evil, but I just didn't understand, to tell you the truth. I knew it was not a hallucination. I knew it was like more than that. I knew it wasn't a hallucination. So, anyway, I think that's about it. But yeah, that was the first time I ever got possessed like that. And like I say, I have all the physical evidence to prove it. I mean, if I could have got that on camera, that would have been so awesome. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised too if, my eyes probably was, jet black too. I would not be surprised if both of my eyes were jet black. And I already can shapeshift, in the mirror, like into a flat-faced reptilian being. And my eyes get like really black, my left eye. But yeah, I wish I could have got that on camera. So anyway, yeah, so anything she said just made me totally angry. And it would have been anybody. I mean, if there was 5, that would have been kind of scary. Thank God there wasn't like 5 other people, in the apartment. I mean, and I probably did have superhuman powers or strength. I mean, I don't really know because nobody like got in my face and tried to provoke me. But I do know what I felt like, and those demons, I mean, they totally are evil as can be. And oh yeah, they want nothing but to, kill, 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 kill. I mean, I was like, but it's funny how my anger bypassed my cat. When I cocked my head to the left and I'd be like staring at Christy whenever she would make these comments, like, do you want me to go get your sister? Call your sister? I would just get angry. She could have said I was beautiful. And I would have got angry. But another thing I forgot to mention was that, this is kind of important, and I forgot to mention it. Okay, after the cloudy wave came over me, I already told you about the scene from the other dimension. He played out a scene for me of like a white, brown-headed man, like as if he just walked around and got done, murdering his family with the knife. After he played out that scene, then he put the voices in my head to go get the knife, kill her, kill me, go get the knife, kill her, kill me. So the whole time, I can't remember exactly how long that lasted, but it lasted a good while. I'm talking, I mean, the whole possession probably lasted 2 to 3 hours completely. But as far as he kept relaying the thoughts in my head to, go get the knife. I kept saying it over and over again in my head. Go get the knife, kill her. He kept telling me, basically to go get the knife, kill her, kill me. Go get the knife, kill her, kill me. Go get the knife, kill her, kill me. And I kept saying that over and over again in my head. And like I say, that lasted quite a while. I don't know. The whole time I was possessed, basically. And like I say, I'm pretty OCD. I knew exactly, I did have a butcher knife. I knew exactly where the butcher knife was. It was in the kitchen, in the small little drawer. In that drawer right there. I knew exactly where it was. But, I knew that like 1% of me was still me. Otherwise, she would have been dead, and I would have been dead. I have no doubt. There's people all the time that get possessed on these drugs, and they run out in the middle of the street and kill themselves because they get possessed. I have no doubt. They get possessed by a demon, and they are successful. The demon is successful. And they just go back to their dimension, and they'll find the next physical person to possess, eventually. But yeah, but like I say, this was a pretty hardcore experience. But I know some other people probably could, relate. But yeah, I mean, as far as I know, I've never had any hardcore possession experiences until 2010. And like I say, for several months, I was confused. I mean, I was still disturbed by the situation, but I was confused, because I didn't really know what it was. I knew it wasn't hallucination. I just knew it was not. I knew it was real. And yeah, so like I say, I mean, it took me a few years after that for it to really sink in that was actually a demonic reptilian possession. And it was a reptilian, no doubt. Very male, very reptilian, but it was a demon reptilian. And I mean, yeah, they're nothing but, I mean, they just want to kill, murder, just bam, 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 bam. I mean, they are totally horrid. But like I say, I still knew 1% was still me. So that's the only reason why, I didn't get up and go get the knife and stuff. But I wouldn't even move. I mean, I just like stayed on the couch. I stayed put. I would not even move because I just wanted it to go away. And I kept praying for it to go away. And like I say, deep down I knew it was something evil, but I didn't know what it was. When I went to bed that night, I even slept with a cross. I know that's kind of weird, but I put a, because I still didn't understand everything, but I knew deep down inside it was not hallucination. And yeah, and so if you are a hybrid, if you're or reptilian soul being or reptilian hybrid, yeah, it's very true. If your vibrations get low by drugs or whatever, anger, the reptilians can get to us very, very, very easily. Very easily. Because I've had so many negative experiences, but I've had a lot of good ones too. But I'm going to talk about, the good ones and the bad ones. But yeah, that is very, very true. And I guess if somebody's a gray hybrid, then, their gray side would come out more often, when they get in that mode. There's this little gray hybrid that works at the movie theater, and he was in his little gray, he was kind of possessed, so to speak, but not in a bad way, by his gray hybrid, DNA, and it was funny to watch him. He was a ticket, clerk, and I was just like staring at him, and I'm thinking, nobody else sees how weird he is acting. But yeah, he's been working there 5 years or longer, but he's definitely a gray, I have no doubt, a gray soul being. And he doesn't know it, or a gray hybrid. He's even built like a gray. But like I say, all these hybrids, most don't even know it. Most never figure it out. Most don't know it. So you can't like force this stuff on people. They have to, ascend or whatever you call it, or enlighten themselves, ascend, evolve, to figure it out for themselves. Okay, well that's my experience. The end.